right. Okay.
All right.
So, here we are, back again.
Iggy's back.
Iggy's back. All right. Hey, hello, man.
Hello.
Nice to see you guys. All right. I'm really happy to see you again. Let's kind of let me sort of clarify and put in context why is this again, right? Why there's this feeling of deja vu? This is actually attempt two to record this episode of podcast, right? We started recording actually earlier this afternoon, and we were plagued by all sorts of technical gremlins and things, and so it was a major fail on my part. So, right. Apologies, right?
No
really
worries.
sorry, because I feel bad, right? Because at least you got to come all the way from Kajang here.
Nah, it's normal.
And then you got to head back again and rush back and then back again and all that. Oh man, so I feel terrible, man.
Nah,
Yeah.
It's a nice car.
Yeah, but oh, all right. But I mean, it's if I don't get the opportunity to get you guys in the studio together, especially Iggy and all the way from Penang as well, there won't be a chance lah. All right, so here we are, man. Sitting here today with two really really awesome and cool people, right? We have.
I forgot.
Sorry, I was actually referring to me and Airliftz. All right, okay, you can take the credit. I'm just kidding, okay? All right. Firstly, on my left, right, in the left corner, weighing approximately 165 pounds. This is Iggy from Sik-K.
Hello, guys.
Right, and right here as well, in front here, the undisputed.
Ding, ding, ding.
weighing 64 kilograms.
All right, you have the one and only Airliftz. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
Thank you for having
here.
us.
Again.
Again, yeah.
We're back, yeah. It's awesome, man. We had quite a bit of fun last night because we were, technically, last night, right? Who cares? Listeners not going to really know the context of when this was recorded, whether this is daytime or nighttime, so nobody will know. Yeah, so we were working on some stuff, right? We were recording some material. We will talk a little bit more about what we were working on and how does the band Sik-K, right, come to collaborate with Airliftz. So we'll listen to. We will find. I want to find a little bit more, like, on how did that happen. But I'd like to start first of all to sort of introduce everyone, right? To introduce you to the listeners, to the audience, all 5 of you out there, right? Okay. And we'll start with you, Iggy.
Hey guys, my name is Iggy from Sik-K. We're a new metal band from Penang, northern side.
Yeah, north side. And I go by the name of Airlftz or Airliftz, and I make sounds. All kinds of sounds. Yeah.
All right. No, you are being so modest and being so humble, man. I mean, I was just joking with Iggy yesterday, that, hey, whenever I take a flight, Asia flight, whenever I'm about to take off or about to land, when I hear your voice, right, coming over the PA, is like, okay, I know, we're about to land already.
We're going there.
So got to put the seat upright, got to put your window shades open and all that.
It'll be a lot better if they don't play it 50 times.
Hey, but the more airplay, the more ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
Royalty.
It's all about we have done the Benjamins. Ours is different. Ours is young. We should coin in our own phrase. Yeah, we should call it all about the all about the Rahmans.
Yeah, Gart actually coined a term. He called it Zeti because back then it was the governor
Zeti,
Zeti.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah. It's all about the Zetis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very cool, you know? Yeah, a Malaysian take.
Malaysian
take on
take.
this. Yeah. So, you know, I like to always start to, interview my guests by talking a little bit about their background, growing up, your education wise, right? Musically, how did you get into all this? So, we want to hear your backstory. lah. So, who wants to go first?
Iggy, take the stage.
All right. Okay.
Again.
Okay.
Again.
I think for the longest time in my life when I was a kid, I've always been into sounds, and I will always, listen to speaker, just stand in the speaker, listen to the sounds, and just fade away from there. So I think I pursued kind of music. I didn't study anything, but just through YouTube and through friends and stuff, I learned how to produce and also play guitar. Yeah, it's from there.
I think I'm quite similar to how the Iggy's upbringing. I kind of grew up in a household of just music. I would wake up in the morning, my mom would play ABBA while she's vacuuming. Yeah. And then you would hear in the other room, my brother is playing Stevie Wonder, and the other side of the room is playing hip hop, Too Fat, and it's a joyful thing for me to be able to share this because it means it's a part of me that I think I just had this conversation with Iggy a few days ago. We were talking about cassettes, right? And how back then in KLCC there was this shop down there that you're able to put the CDs in.
Yeah, test
and then
the
you hear
sound,
it.
yeah.
And I just realized that my mom would usually go to the mall and just leave me alone there just because I was just checking out sounds. And back when I was 14, that's when I really got my hands on making music, and that's the best thing ever happened till this day. Yeah, never going.
14.
14.
Wow. I started at I think 16 to kind of go serious with the music stuff.
Yeah. Also because of Khalif, he's man, you know how to write stuff, but you got to start making beats. So that's how I found out about FL3 YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, yeah. We'll dive into some of this talk about the more nerdy and the geeky technical side of the stuff which we all like lah. We're talking about that. That's right down in my list of. Let me see my questions here. Yeah, all right, it's there. We'll cover that after a while. Iggy, the band started. Maybe a little bit of backstory also about the band. When did it start? And so some of the releases. You guys did your first album. We talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So I think for Sik-K, we've been around since 2015, but we didn't really put up anything yet that time. We were just playing shows a lot in Penang, sometimes in KL, Ipoh, and then we came up with a bunch of songs. And I think in 2019, 2020 that we came to JD and recorded all the songs we have, and that was the first album that we released. And now we're working on a new EP.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've had already heard of you. I'm not really sure which social media platform, but you guys were already under my radar because I have to say there are very, very few bands, at least in Malaysia. Yeah, actually, I would say even in the rest of the world, there's very few now that kind of play that sound. And I have to admit, I'm biased, okay. The sound of the turn of the century, 90s, 2000s, new metal sound was something that I really, really enjoyed. Bands of course like Korn, Incubus, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and all that. Yeah. So when I heard you guys heard your music for the first time, I was wow, this is cool. And eventually when you hit me up to work on your first album, I was wow, I was really, really excited, super excited. And then you guys got to play in Rock the World 20 as well, so that was very, very cool. That's really also awesome. That same year, so you guys like formally, officially launched the album, right?
Officially launched the album.
Very, very cool, man.
It was fun, and I'm really honored, JD, because like we used to listen to you, you guys like when we were growing up. We would always like go to the internet cafe and like, man, pop shove.
Pop shove, yeah. It usually accompanied by another two words. They suck. Poser. Oh, there are a lot of hater stories I can share with you all. During the early days.
But it was really nice, like to see you guys, like, and also like everybody's different in the band. I like how when a band does like everybody dresses differently and have their own style.
Character.
Yeah, their own characters. It's really nice.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's not supposed to be about me. It's just supposed to be about you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, I would like to know more also, like how the era music was that time. Because I was like, back in the 2000s, he's like probably like 10, 11. I'm still like 10 years old. So, yeah, like it's good to know that though. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, we can get all this off the record, off the record discussions, because after we have to name names and identify people and all that.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Yeah. But over to you, Airliftz. People would say that your rise to fame, right, was quite meteoric. At least for me, for someone who's not aware, your name was suddenly popping up, in all over social media, a couple of years ago. And could you and of course your music and your story, your backstory is really, really inspirational as well.
Thank you.
So you mentioned 2014, so that's like 10 years ago already.
Ooh, 10.
Yeah.
Wow, indeed.
But the thing is that the takeaway always whenever I read interviews about artists or bands is that, hey, even though their sort of rise to prominence may have happened within a short period of time, but there's always been that constant progressive growth that has taken years to get you to where you are, and that's where a lot of the public, don't really see that growth. And this is where, one of the reasons I like to do this podcast is to talk to creative people like both of you, to find your story, learn about your process, and hopefully, kid who listens out there, will be able to sort of take the lessons and the inspirations behind it and say, hey, Airliftz could do it this way. Iggy and the band, or maybe someone who plays in a band will say, oh, this is something, a path that I can learn, something that I can take forth lah. Yeah, so thank you once again, man. I can't say how excited I am to have you guys here.
Thank you too for having us here. It's an honor to be able to sit here with you. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So let's going back. What about your sort of since I talk a little bit more about like production related stuff. How did you learn and get into this music production, audio engineering? Yeah.
So I think when I was 17, 18, that's when I got like my first computer. So I think the first DAW that I ever tried was MixCraft. I still remember that one. I had the trial version.
What? Sorry, man. What's a MixCraft?
Yeah. MixCraft, bro.
It's really obscure.
Yeah. And then from there, I went to there's one software from Sony, and then to Reaper, and then I think I was stuck with Logic for a while.
Okay.
For a really long time, and then recently I've been learning FL. And it's pretty great. FL has been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Metro Boomin some more.
Yeah. And if I'm mistaken, you spend quite a bit of time as well, working around in the with live sounds.
Yes,
and dabbling with all that as well, right? So that you got a lot of hands-on.
Yes. So in Penang, I used to work in this music shop called Spectrum Music. Shout out Spectrum Music. Yeah, and Daniel, the guy who owns the shop, he will always do events and stuff, rentals. So I would always follow him and like, learn how to do stuff. And then one time he was like, oh, I think you can do this. Why not you just take over and like, at least you can learn. So that was one. And then also Soundmaker. Chong, he gave me a spot in Soundmaker to like, come and try out things. If I want to record, he just like let me use the mixer and stuff. So that was like one of the real experience in the studio doing things.
Yeah, that's very, very cool, So no formal training, like you didn't go to like, an SAE or any of those formal audio or music courses.
Yeah.
And everything was literally hands-on on the job training.
Yes, everything was mostly YouTube. Like every time I get stuck with something, I'll just go to YouTube and try to find that. And then like, that would like 90% solve the problem most of the time.
That's very cool, man, which is very, very valuable, I would say. As much as I am an advocate for like formal studies and all that, it's always a good thing to have to try and get a paper qualification. But just that alone is not enough, man. And it's so valuable to have that hands-on, practical experience as well.
Yep. But I would love to like learn theory as well, because like recently I've been producing for people. So like I feel like theory helps you communicate better with musicians and like to give out the ideas properly. So yeah, I think both is very, very important.
Very, very nice. Yeah. How about you, Airliftz? So like 2014. Can you describe? How did your dive into this music production? How did that come about?
Well, since Iggy talked about computers, right? So my brother passed me his old laptop, which is like already like broken in a way, so you can see the batteries coming out. So I didn't know where to go, so I went to YouTube and searched up for like how do I make music, or like how do I make sounds using like a software, and that's where I found out FL. But before that, I was just trying out these thing called from Jabra. They have this thing called Sound Lab or something. So it's just like a bunch of samples that you can just place together and make music in a way. Then they got taken down. But like going back to FL. That's where I learned most of music production. And with YouTube, that's where it all started. Like learning tips and tricks. Like I never went to school for it. I just played by ear. Like, oh, this sounds good, and then I would spend my days was just pressing each button to see like what does this do. I didn't know what reverb meant. I didn't know what delay meant. Yeah. And then when I press it, like so this is a delay. Okay. And I spent a lot of my time just learning through YouTube and finding by pressing all the buttons, and also with the help of Jin. When Jin got me into This Way Up Records, she started like to, hook me up with like a bunch of producers like Irfan Ice Sky, Shell Hale, people from Crazy Sounds back then. And I learned a lot from them. So I just watched them see what kind of like VSTs or plugins, like, oh, that's cool, I want to download that. Then they taught me a lot of things also. So shout out Irfan. Irfan has been my day one teaching me. He's my sensei.
Nice guy.
Very cool, Yeah. You mentioned Jin as well. Jin Hackman, right? The one and only Jin of Tong Tong Asia.
Tong Tong Asia.
Shout out to you, Jin. Got to get you on the podcast one of these days as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Waiting for what happened to the year-end wrap-ups. Another one for this year. Let's do another one. I know he's got a lot of it on his hand.
Wow.
Oh, speaking about Jin, they are bringing back RTP Fest.
Ooh, yeah, 2024,
and that's going to happen in May. Right?
Yeah,
May of this year.
May 25th, 26th. Yeah.
Are you going to be playing? Are you going to be performing?
I'm going to be playing.
Yeah. Right, awesome. Just remember to plug this at the end as well, right? Got a plug for you, okay, Jin? Right. To all my 5 viewing audiences out there. Yeah. So I mean, that's really, really cool and interesting to hear how your sort of progress and your journey is. Because for me, someone who's gone to like an audio school, sometimes I take these things for granted. It's so it's funny but also fascinating to me. Like we said, like you were you went and pressed every single button inside the door, trying to figure out what this is, what this does, and then like learning just by pressing that, and then okay, what's what it does. Because I'm so accustomed to the DAW environment, how it works. So I assume that I think I know everything. Okay, I know my way around already. And sometimes that can be a trap, because then it causes me to not go and explore, you see. Because it's like, okay, I know the road already. So it's like, I don't take the, there's the random chance of like, discovering some other weird pathway or something, or a weird sound. Doesn't happen, because it's like, okay, I know how to go from here to there. I always take that road.
Understand.
So there's that sense of that, that excitement, that discovery, which, wow, I feel that's something that's really, really unique and very special as well.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
That's cool.
Because I thought it was kind of silly, like, this dude just pressing all the buttons.
But in the end, it's the whole point of it is that whatever you're doing, it's gotta be for the fun of it. It's gotta be because you love it in the first place. And it's very cool. Both of you also share that a lot of this is all hands-on. It's all it's all a lot of learning from YouTube University. And learning stuff from there and just putting it into practice.
Yes, you should get a cert by now. YouTube.
By right, you should. But if you consume a certain number of hours of all the YouTube tutorials and all that, it should give you some kind of
PhDs.
That is permanent head damage. Not a qualification. I mean, last night, you were describing that, because you're not formally trained, and all that. I mean, during the session also, it was so funny to me that when we were recording drums last night, when you're trying to communicate an idea to Adrian, right? You guys, you're your drummer, right? So the way you had to describe it was you had to vocalize it. It's like, do it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wish like Iggy said earlier, I wish I knew more about like music theory, so I can easily explain to what I really need. So I just somewhat have to use my imagination in my life. It has to go like ta ta tum tick. Just like, that one, Adrian. I mean, it's I don't know. I like Iggy said, I wish we knew more like about that.
Man, but that should never be a barrier, I think, or an obstacle to having fun and making music, because in the end it is about having fun, how it feels, how it sounds to you. If someone who's like coming from a more like a serious traditional background is going to describe, hey, I want a 16th note fill from bar 30 going into bar 31, blah blah blah. It's got to be this duration, and I would like to have this little triplet dotted eighth notes, like blah, 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 all this, all
I'm
this
already lost.
We're just like just
I'm lost.
And then just describe how it feels, and then when Adrian like did the sound effect, it's like that's it. In the end, it boils down to the essence lah. All right.
Also when we make music, I think for me especially, just melodies just come in my head, and the first thing I do is just take my phone and just mumble that out. And try to like recreate that with the guitar or like with a different melody. So I think that's one way that I always do, and it works all the time.
I think like in the end of the day, I think for both of us, I think just about capturing the vibe and understanding the emotions. So I think that just kind of helps. Like, you get what I mean? Like, okay, but can you make it sadder? And then like Iggy would just pull like a sadder note, like that works.
Yeah, alright. That's actually a nice segue, you know, because now, you know, when we first started, I think this project first actually started, the seeds of it was actually last year when we did like a track for one of the songs, like an older version of Reanimate, right? Then you told me that, hey, you know, this project is like, it's going to be a collaboration with Airliftz.
Yes.
And then I was like, wait, what a minute? It's like, you know, it's like, how did, you know, because, you know, Sik-K, Airliftz is like, you know, two like polar opposites in the musical world, you know.
Yeah.
Or what you do is like, then how did these two polar opposites sort of come together? Maybe you want to, you know, share with how did this collaboration come about?
You want to go first?
You go first, bro.
I think it's just... Hey, Iggy, what is answer? My brain's like loading.
I think like we just wanted to like make music together and try to bounce out ideas, because I know like I'm from like really underground rock background, and then Airliftz is more on the pop background, R&B. So like we just wanted to explore more sounds.
Yeah.
And like we figured out that I think it was the best to do that.
Yeah.
Because we were total opposite worlds.
And I think like for me and Iggy, I think what we both share is that we are not scared of like trying different sounds and, you know, just finding newer waves or like newer tone just to you know, we're just having fun, you know, like to see what we can merge with, like from his new metal stuff to my R&B stuff. And it's just most of the time we just back in our studio in Penang, just us chilling, just like, okay, I found this sample, like, can you play something like what you're playing with the band? And then like, okay, lay it down. And I'm like, okay. And we lay down like some UK garage beat, and just like, oh, it works actually. This is pretty cool.
Mostly that's how we do it. And we have a lot of Dr. Pepper.
Oh, stocked up. But yeah, it's just both of us. I think we shared the love for experimenting music.
Dr. Pepper, that is so, you know, unconventional choice of soda.
It's good.
It's
but
good.
you know, you recently made the move to Penang, right?
Yeah.
But did you guys knew each other before this? Like, you know, how did you like know each other?
We met each other in I think 2019.
But we don't know each other.
Yeah,
like,
we don't know each other really close. We just know like we do music.
Yeah, it's more of a high and by, like, because I know Ken before I know Iggy. So like, because you know hip hop, right? And like Iggy's there. Iggy had his big ass dreads, right? And then I moved to Penang, and my partner Nicole, she was like, "Hey, I wanted you to meet my friends in Penang who makes music." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's weird. They make hip hop and like kind of like this new metal stuff, and I think you would like it." I'm like, "Okay, great. Like I'm gonna go and meet them." See, the minute I stepped into Soundmaker, and he's like, "Who are you?" So I'm like, "You?" He's like, "You?" And then Ken was like, "Yo!" It's crazy. And like,
fun.
I think that our friendship, like relationship, just starts off from there. Like, you know, spending time in Soundmaker a lot, just like fuck around.
Yeah.
Oops. I don't mean to say anything.
Oh no, man.
It was also a pandemic, so like I think me and Ken, we were mostly in Soundmaker. We were like camping there, doing stuff. And then like when Airliftz came, we just like, you know, they part there most of the time.
Right. Good times. That's really, really cool and interesting to hear, man, because again, I was so curious when I first heard the track last year when you all did that. It suddenly it's like that voice and taking the verse and the chorus melody came in. It's like, hey, who is this? You know, and then they said, oh, that's Airliftz. He sings like that. You know, and it's like, you know, this the very, very emo kind of melody to it's like, hey, wow, this is very, very different from, you know, like hip hop R&B kind of thing. So, but it was really, really cool, man. And I think you brought, you know, really a different vibe, a different energy, a new level. And, you know, I'm sure it's definitely very, very exciting to hear what's going to be coming out. So, speaking of which, right, you guys are here, first of all, because to not just to do a podcast, but because you all were recording the drums last night.
Yes.
So want to talk a little bit, maybe just give a little bit of hint of what we can expect from this upcoming EP?
So we have a 6-song EP coming out somewhere around end of April to early May. We're not sure with the dates yet. But yeah, this EP is, we are really experimenting our sound. So we want to kind of like step out from that super heavy sound and like try to merge it with something different. So we've always been like trying to find out what we can do to make the sound new and current.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like for me, mostly we're just trying to make it feel more cinematic, or like, you know, kind of play around a bit. You know, you still have this pop structure going on, but at the same time, in terms of arrangement, I still want to make it feel like a bit like, I had like this No Leaf Clover Metallica's like idea, like that song, like that's how we got Reanimate, and also one of the songs Omega. So we had this, and he shared like Bring Me the Horizon, like okay, we're on the same page, and yeah, it was a lot of it's just. I don't know how to say it, man.
It's a lot of just like us in the studio bouncing ideas.
Yeah,
that was basically what we did, and we didn't have like a filter to say like, oh, we can only do this or this. Yeah. We just like explored.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard, you know, throughout the session last night, you know, I've had a real privilege of listening to, you know, and I've really lucky. I always get to hear what people are doing, you know, and. You know, it's a real departure from the first album. You know, which I think it's always a cool. You know, it's a much more mature sound, right? You know, Airliftz, of course, you know, you contributed, you know, in terms of your melodic and production ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I think you could describe, you know, in terms of the arrangement, in terms of the sounds, right? You know, the songs are very dynamic, right? Because you got like, you know, parts which are like really quiet, melancholic, and very, very, you know, sort of like, you know, very, very meditative parts. And then it goes hitting hard, you know, you know, which is what Sik-K is all about. Yeah. That, you know, you describe cinematic, you know, so it's like, you know, it's epic, using those big ambient sounds, you give that kind of epic feel. So we're really looking forward to it, man. You know, I'm really look forward to work on it as well.
That's a cosign.
Yeah. Will that coincide with anything later this year for Sik-K?
So
when you're putting the EP out?
Throughout this whole year, we are going to release around 20 songs, but we're gonna package it. We're still deciding how to package it. Maybe some songs will be singles, and then probably some songs will go into another EP. But yeah, 20 songs this year.
All right. Really cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to take us into the more technical segment of this, right? You know, so for if we haven't lost half the viewers yet, you know, we're still sticking around. So yeah, one of course first questions that's in my list would be, you know, what are the DAWs that both of you use? Iggy, you start.
Like currently?
Oh yeah, currently what you use, or what do you use before?
Currently, I am. I think I'm fully using FL Studio now. Cause I bought a new laptop and it's PC.
Yeah.
So FL Studio is super good right now. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
What about you?
I use. I mean, since day one, it's just been FL Studio. I try to move to Ableton. But there's so much technical things you gotta play around with.
Right. Yeah. Ableton is a very, very different beast. Their approach, right, to how the DAW works and their workflow is very, very different from the other traditional DAWs lah.
Yeah.
So I'm basically sitting across from Team FL right now, man.
Team FL.
Yeah, Team FL, you know.
Trappers.
So yeah, I do remember the old days of FL Studio being the, you know, that 16 grid beat step sequencer kind of thing with their little boxes where you just drag and then you load the sample for each little box and each track, you know. It's like, and you know, we always joke like, you know, for like the professional engineers and studios always joke like, this FL is like a toy, you know, it's only for like, non-serious people to play around. But FL Studio now, right, for the past couple of years has really come around. It's really matured into a serious, full-fledged DAW, you know. So it still has the elements which made it very, very popular and easy to use. Yeah. But now it's, started to integrate some very, very powerful features. It's integrated into some very, very, really, really nifty, handy things as well. So, why did you shift? Were those some of the reasons?
I think also another reason was I noticed it was easier to create things from scratch with FL Studio compared to I was using Logic last time, and also because of all the upgrades that they have right now. I think even for organic kind of sound like band or like guitar sound, I think FL is it's a good place to do that.
That's good. That's good to know because I thought it would be a whole different DAW for it because like FL. I grew up with like FL being just hip hop, right? And I can never get away from the step sequence. Like it's surprising to hear that you say it helps a lot with the band sound because
I've used FL before. I think back in 2014 or something like that. Yeah, and it was a bit hard for rock music. But recently, like after like getting my hands on again in FL. It's so much that's changed. Yeah,
that's great.
So it's nice.
Yeah, what is some of the new, stuff that's like that's the real draw factor for you that really really help.
I feel like the whole interface is easy to see and like some doors are a bit confusing and like technical. FL Studio is very easy to locate things. Yeah. So if you want to do like a EQ or something like that, it's very easy to drag and put it inside, even for VSTs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Very, very cool, man. Yeah. Very cool. So that's interesting to hear. That's very cool. I will always like, it's always in the world of Pro Tools or Logic or Cubase, and then it's like it's always. FL has always been the underdog of the DAW, and now to see that it's like being really taken seriously. Yeah, that's super cool.
FL also has like sample packs now inside that you can use, something like Splice, which is built in, and also like the AI mastering that they have is really nice.
And like whenever you want to render your song, it'll automatically detect like what
type of
genre is playing, so it'll master it following that kind of genre. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, like we were rendering one of my song, and then just automatically detect like hip hop R&B. And then, like, when you render it, like the project, like it's under like rock or metal. Like wow, I didn't. That's
crazy.
That's
AI
scary. Accurate.
Interesting, really cool. Yeah. Do you have to pay for all the sample pack features? Is there an upgrade or?
I think we've been using the premium one.
Yeah, the premium one. Like if you buy the signature bundle, that just comes free with it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So along with like any updates or
with all the
lifetime updates.
Very, very, very cool. That's. I mean that makes sense, you see, because so many of the other DAWs will always make you pay for like expansion or stuff like that. I mean, version hot fixes and version upgrades, that one is usually free lah. But like sample packs and all that, that's really really cool. Yeah, and all those features as well. Yeah, all right. Who knows? One day, no, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. No, I'm so entrenched to using what I really so used to. It's so hard for me to go and switch. Like you mentioned, Ableton. Yeah, I did try it once because there was one project which a client was working on. And I had to help out this client with his mix. But had to help it because he was using Ableton. So he actually brought his laptop here with Ableton. We hooked it up, blah, blah, and I had to like sit down. So took me a while, like 10 minutes to, it's like, oh, he's still got to point me, okay, where do I find this? Where do I find this? But there are some really cool and interesting things. And one of the cool things about switching over to different tools and, just switching it up, it actually does activate your brain, in a different way. Because it did force me to, think differently. If it's laid out, if it's like a piece, or it's a plugin that's like I saw in Ableton, some of their plugins, their user interface, the graphical, the GUI is very different. It is not like the actual picture of the hardware. It looks very cool, fancy, with all the detail, a bit rusted, got the screws and all that. That one is just like a number, a slider, a meter, and fader. Then it's like that. Wow, it takes you away from the expectation bias of how is it going to sound. And when I was working on that makes it really forced me to really use my ears, and to think. So it's very cool to just switch it up sometimes. And
we do switch it up when we need to perform live for shows, because Ableton just the best thing for like zero latency to perform live compared to FL. So
correct. That's where Ableton is very, very popular with with DJs as well.
DJs.
And for playing back live. Very, very cool. So let's continue along this pathway of the gear, right? What would your dream piece of gear be? Is there anything that you're looking to sort of add to the collection, the next thing?
I think for me, one of the dream gears would be to have a Neural DSP pedal. I've been recently, even for this EP, I've been using the virtual VST of Neural, and it sounds like super good.
He's been talking about it a lot.
Very cool. So that's on the wish list right now.
That's on the wish list right now.
All right. Okay. Right. Santa.
Santa
for this year, or even sooner. Yeah. How about you, man?
Dream gears, man. I just want a room full of synthesizers. I can't imagine which one, but I think the closest one I can think of right now is just upgrading my HS5 to a 7. That's my dream right now. Like, I want it bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Bigger. Bigger is better.
Bigger is better.
You say it's not about the size. It's cool that you mentioned like synths, but like you're talking about like actual hardware synths, right? Yeah. Because like what do you use now in terms of your synths?
I just subscribed to U80 Spark, and like they came up with like mini moogs and all these other fancy what do you call that again? Synthesizers. Yeah, and I've been using a lot of the projects. I've been using mini moog because so like famous, right? Like, okay, I want to try it out. Like, what's mini moog? And then hit the bass line. Like, I understand why. But I think maybe a mini moog would be like an actual mini moog would be like my dream gear. I just love the synth sound of it.
Man, I mean the moog it's ubiquitous. It's synonymous with all of these like really signature type of a synth kind of sounds, like everything from the bass lines to the leads and all that, and that's very cool that you're in U80 with U80 Spark as well.
U80 Spark.
I'm sure you get the access to all of the other plugins like the LE2A, the 76 and all that.
You
as
got
well, right?
everything like from the LE2A and then the Neve 1073s. Like everything is there like for a good 1 month for $20. Like why not?
That's good.
They were doing this promotion for like 3 months. You only pay 90 cents USD. Like, hey, that's a steal. So that's why I got it.
Well, that's the carrot before the stick. That's how they rope you.
Yeah, and they got me.
It's like that, 3 month, like a discount or free trial, and then you got hooked, man. That's very cool. I use UAD as well, but from the much more older school, I have the actual UAD 2 cards, right? So in terms of like the quality of their plugins, no doubt UAD's got really, really, I would say it is the best lah. But it used to be only be accessible to either you got to either buy the card or you got to buy the satellite, right? Which is the either the Firewire or the USB, the external one, or you got to buy the Apollo, which is like you know.
Yeah,
For most models, yeah, you know, for most models, you know, our bank account, our wallet, not, you know, don't have enough of that cash, right?
Yeah.
They don't have enough Zetis to to buy that. So that's very cool. They've made it really, really accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we, you know, me and Iggy, like when we were setting up the studio, I always kept telling him like, "Yo, you should get the Apollos, like we have the cash." Because like you just really wanted to get it because of the plugins. But now when I got my hands on UAD Spark, that just like, you know what, screw that thing. I'm happy enough with the plugins.
Yeah. You know, again, it's you know, it's a good marketing move on their behalf. You know, the DSP card thing is I'll put it out. It's not a secret, but it is a dead end technology. Right? It's dead end. It's already because native power processing power has taken over. You know, it's overtaken, not taken over, overtaken what's possible on a separate DSP card already. You know, there may be some situations where that may be useful, but yeah, you know, your processing your onboard, your chips are so powerful, especially if you talk about like people who use like the M1, M2, and now M3 laptops, right? But even like a powerful Intel PC is like can run tons of plugins that the DSP cards cannot even keep up nowadays. So it's a smart marketing move on them to open up to the native market as well.
I'm a loyal customer.
All right, the Universal Audio, okay? Sponsored by.
Sponsored by.
Yeah. Iggy, right? So Neural, right? So why is this big switch over to Neural? What were you using before this?
Before this, I was using Amplitude 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's just the sound quality of Neural and also how clean the guitar sounds is very nice. Yeah, and also like I think Amplitude last time, because I play with a lot of noise stuff. So like when you get a feedback from a virtual VST is a bit different from the organic one. I think Neural got it really close. Yeah, so that's why Neural is
very cool, man. Yeah. I mean, I do get what you mean because like Amplitude, Guitar Rig, those are like kind of like the older generation of like the M Sims, you know? Yeah, because they've been around for a long time. Amplitude and all that's been around. So maybe it's because that's kind of where the limit of their modeling technology, that's only as far. So I you know, when I think the second generation was when XFX and Kemper came about, and then Neural came about, you know. They made it really because, you know, they had the plugin as well. It's not necessarily just the hardware. So that really, really shifted, you know. It made it like really accessible for a lot of people out there.
It's really great plugin. Even like for our bass, we use Neural now.
Right.
And
yes.
Super.
The
super
Dark
good.
Glass Ultra.
Dark Glass. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Very, very cool. Yeah. Previously, you know, I remember back in the first album.
Yeah.
Right. You were when you recorded the guitars here, you were using a really old
super
Boss.
old Boss multi-effects pedal.
Yeah. Do you know what model is that?
It's a ME20, if not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, ME20.
I remember when you first pulled it out of your bag, it was like, what is this piece of crappy looking, you know? I think the LED screen, you know, it's all scratched up. The LED screen, you also can't really see the like properly. So it's like, how did you work with that, man? You know?
Yeah. So I had the pedal when I was 16, 17. And like from then on, I just experimented with the sounds. I would always go to like Spectrum Music sit down there with the amp for like, couple of hours just to like tweak sounds and like try to see what I can come up with the pedal. Yeah. Also my guitar, I took out the first pickup because I didn't really like the sound. So it's just a lot of tweaking to get the sound that I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I would say I love the way it sounded, man.
Oh, thank you.
Because because even though when I first saw it, it's like, oh wow, I took it as a challenge and an opportunity to sort of explore something a little bit different. And it's actually sometimes some of these multi-effects and even the older multi-effects, if you put it to the right amp with the right settings, they sound really, really good.
Yeah, that's
true. They sound really, really good. And then, just finding the right combination lah. Yeah. And then I think the most important thing is that it's your sound. It was you. Yeah. But I suppose for second EP, second record onwards, moving on to newer lah.
Yes.
But it's great, man. You've been using it for so long.
Yes.
Even for live shows, you use
even
that.
for
right?
live shows. Even now, I still use that for live shows.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes to show that it's not really necessarily about the gear, not the best or latest. It's about knowing the equipment, tweaking it, knowing how to sort of extract the best out of it.
Yes.
Yeah, and finding it. So it's not like, I don't have the latest lah, I cannot lah, I don't have the tone lah, I cannot play, I cannot record this, or I can't do that because
Yeah, it's a lot about like spending time with your gears and your instruments to find the sound that like fits you.
Very, very cool. Yeah. Awesome. So, I guess we'll wrap this up real soon, So usually I would wind down with the most cliche type of questions lah, okay?
Okay.
The super cliche one, would be, what would your kind of best advice in terms of like, either production advice or career advice to anyone who might be listening out there? How about you?
Production-wise, I think... just have fun with, every moment that you're learning on how to make music, or it doesn't matter, you have to be on FL or Ableton, Cubase, Reason, whichever that fits like your vibe and your understanding, go ahead with that, and it's endless. Like if you're really in it for the music, you just keep on doing it. And career-wise, DJ Goldfish once asked me this, so do you want to make music or you want to make hits? And I'm like, that's such a simple question. But then like now after a few years, like, I finally get it. I think I'm in it for the music. Because like, it's not wrong to be a pop star or a superstar. You want to be, making just hits. Like there's no right or wrong with making music. But, you just need to know which path you want to go, because in the end of the day, it's all about you and your artistry. That's just how I see it. Yeah.
That's a really cool quote and sort of a way of thinking and looking at it, man. Yeah. Because actually, again, so when you talk to songwriters, when you talk to producers, I remember there was an interview with David Foster, where the question interview actually asked him, so what's your formula for making a hit song? His answer was, I don't know. Is there a formula? If I knew there was a formula, I would be, making hit after hit after hit already.
Yeah.
So the thing is that it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of experimentation, but thinking about the song. But what makes it a hit? There's so many other factors that's out of control, and I think people don't really see that. We always write a lot of material, we put out there, but not necessarily all of them. We probably have more misses rather than we have hits, man.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So people don't understand. It is the work. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time, and that's really, really cool. Yeah,
I think the most important is not really just the work, but put in the love for it. Yeah, because I feel like some people just think like, we gotta work hard and then we're gonna be there, but like. You really need to play, like, I think authenticity within yourself and your artistry is reason why we are here today. Yeah.
Authenticity. Yeah.
I mean,
very
that's so
important.
cliche.
Yeah.
right? But it's true. It's
true.
real. It's real. You have to, be real. Put yourself forward out there, and
Yeah.
and that's usually how your music will resonate with people that way when you're being real.
Yep.
Yeah. At least to me anyway.
Yeah.
I always music that sounds or feels real.
Yeah.
It comes from a real place.
Yeah.
In terms of the lyrics or everything, always resonates with me the most, lah.
Yeah, that's what Fox taught. He's a producer from Singapore. He said like you have to, if you want to make music, it has to be something that's evergreen. Like it's
Yeah.
such a simple thing, but like So for me, it's always been like longevity. Like I'm not here just for like the quick buck and then just bounce. I'm here because I love it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time with this EP also just listening back and back and back, just to make sure like it. If you hear it 50 times, does it feel like, does it give you the same energy, or is it like being a bit more boring?
Yeah.
So that's a very key factor, I would say.
Super awesome, man. Yeah. Hey, you got anything to add about the production advice thing?
Yeah.
or,
You got any advice?
know?
Production advice? Career advice?
Wow. I think Airliftz said most of it, but I would say I think if you put the right emotions, the song has to have the right emotion, the story you want to say.
Yeah.
So if you get those right, I think the song will be great. And love for the song is very important. If you like something that you're doing, I'm pretty sure it would go somewhere and people will also feel the same way.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Can I
Yeah.
just add one more thing?
Oh, please,
Yeah,
please, go
I
ahead.
think because like, I'm always surrounded by dreamers, and everyone was just like, oh, I want to make it big. I want to make it like huge. But it always falls back down to like, for me, this is what I recently learned this year with my partner. It's just about getting that 1,000 true fans. That's it. Like, we're taking that career path, right? Like, all you need is this 1,000 people that's willing to show you love and support, that would be there for you wherever you are. That's enough, more than 10,000 people.
Yep.
It's not always about the numbers. I mean, mine is the business and everything, but
It's more about the
but,
true fans.
Yeah, the true fans.
Yeah.
So I feel like resonate with your listeners, resonate with your fans, interact with them, and make them feel like a part of your home. That's that.
Correct. That's actually a really cool mindset. I think they refer to it as super fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
the term that they use, and that's actually, there has been some case studies, even not only like international, but even locally with some bands as well, to have adopted that sort of strategy. It may not be like reaching that super wide mass mainstream appeal, but they can sustain their career just because they have that core of super fans who go to the shows, buy their merchandise, buy their music, and be able to support their career in such a way. And that's a cool thing too.
It is,
It's not necessarily got to be like, oh, gotta have the #1 hit and then be all over radio and all over TV and all that.
Yeah.
So there is that path that exists as well.
Yeah.
And that's a very good point, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no worries.
Cool. Yeah. So wow. That, I guess let's wrap it up. Maybe we're looking forward to the EP, right?
Yes.
The Sik-K along with the Airliftz collaboration, right? This project. Is there a title for it yet?
We are still
spoke about
searching.
this 2 days ago.
Yeah, we just spoke about this 2 days ago. We're still searching for a title to go with it. But we will definitely update you guys in our social medias.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so suggestions for titles in the comments
Yes,
below. Okay?
please do.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
But I just want to put it out there, like Airliftz been like helping us with melodies and like structuring and stuff like that, and like it's been great to like have his ideas kind of merge with ours.
Appreciate
and like
it,
really honored to have that.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So, closing words, anything you want to plug? I think we mentioned it anywhere that, upcoming shows, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You go ahead first. You
You
start
go first? Okay.
Yeah.
So the EP is going to come out somewhere between end of April to early May, and we will be pairing up a pre-launch of the show with NMF. Not sure the dates yet, but
Northern Music Fest, right?
Northern Music Fest, yeah.
Right.
So that will be the first time we're gonna play all these new songs.
Awesome.
Live.
Right. So we will stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, well, I just want to make it clear to everyone out there that I'm finally independent.
Yes. Let's go.
Oh, right. Yeah. For the record.
For the record, you know what I mean? So like, just hit me up straight, you know, don't go back there.
Okay.
But like, Airliftz studio is where I make my sounds with, you know, alongside my friends. So if you guys are ever in Penang, if you do want to share the same creativity in your artistry, you can always just come by to our space and also have a vibe. You too.
Yeah.
Like, we would love to have you in Penang.
We really love to.
That would be fun. I think, you know, that's something I would want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like next time, just when going for like trips or anything, make it that sort of trips. Just go and hang and chill with people who make music and all that. You know, instead of just the usual touristy. I've actually gone to Penang a lot the past 1-2 years, a lot with my family. It's like, you know. But it's always been like a touristy thing lah.
It's all the nasi kandar,
all the when you're with young kids, it's like going to Kopta, going to Tok, to the beach, going to Escape Park, going to all those places where. So you know, with young kids, that's what you got to do. So it's like, I need some me time, you know. Daddy needs some, you know, me time.
Time.
Yeah. Meantime, then there'll be a fun hang. I'll definitely hit you guys up next time I'm coming up to Penang.
Yeah.
Right. You mentioned also, right? RTB Fest. That's
RTB Fest
performing there as well.
Yeah, I'll be performing at RTB Fest 2024. That's happening on 25th and 26th, alongside with other amazing local talents too. So come and support the movement.
Yeah.
Support the love.
Do you know where the venue is? Really? I saw the poster, but
KL Paak.
in
KL Paak.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Jin's bringing it back there. So like, memories.
Interesting.
Was it started there?
I mean, one of the biggest ones was
The biggest ones was there. I see.
One of it.
I was literally on a YouTube video, like very young, just like in front of the stage watching people perform, and now like I'm finally here. It's completing the full circle now. So like,
okay. You know, well, we'll search for that YouTube video and then try and see.
With the link now.
Very, very cool. Yeah. So, how do people reach you? What are you guys, your social medias and all that? You know? Yeah.
You can find me at Instagram. I'm most active in Instagram. Iggy Wiggy.
Yeah.
Iggy Wiggy. And the band's
and the band's social is SICKPNG.
Right. Yeah.
And then you can find me on Instagram at @Airliftz, because their first original account got hacked. And then,
oh no.
That's why it's not now.
Oh no, I see.
And then TikTok is Airliftz, X, Facebook, YouTube, everything is Airliftz.
Very cool. Yeah. I'll put all this down in the video down below in the description.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks again, man.
Thank you, JD, for having us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. It's been fun, you know. And then after this, you guys will be heading back already.
Yes.
Have a good drive, safe drive.
Will
you know.
do.
And thanks once again. And we finally did it.
Yeah.
Despite all the technical, gremlins that happened earlier today. Yes, we finally did it. Okay. Now, don't screw it up by not forgetting to press save.
Oh no.
All right.
Always Control S.
Control S. And hopefully it doesn't crash, right?
Good piece of advice there. All right. Thank you, folks. All right. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Together.